My dumbass had to record this thing twice because the first time I forgot to press save. So here we go, take 2. Welcome to Alita Battle Angel. And before I start, I just want to say, I had to watch this movie twice because the first time I watched it, I was so sleep deprived. Basically, everything was super confusing to me. Alright, so first off, we gotta clear up some terms, places, and people we gotta know. We got Zalem, the last city in the sky. Iron City, basically Zalem's toilet. The URM, which stands for You Ratchet Motherfucker. United Republic of Mars. The Fall, a big ass war that happened about 300 years ago between the and the people of Earth. Dr. Ito, he fixes cyborgs and prosthetic limbs and shit, mostly for free, you know, because people don't have money and shit, and he's a nice guy like that. Shireen, she used to be Dr. Ito's wife. She's also a mechanic slash doctor person thing. Hugo, he's much like Rocket from the MCU, where he steals prosthetic limbs from amputees or cyborgs or whatever, but instead of doing it for fun, he sells them. Grishka, a big fuck off robot. Look at that, big fuck, look at him. Vector, he's a cunt. Nova, mega cunt, that thinks he's God, and he's the only one of the people I mentioned that is in the Sky City Zalem, and no one else is allowed to go up there. Now that's cleared up, let's jump right into it. Alright, we got Ito and he's rummaging through some shit that Zalem drops on Iron City, and he finds a head with a functioning brain, and he's like, I'm gonna make a sex doll out of this. I'm gonna save this bitch. So he takes her back to his house or lab, and with the help of his assistant, they give her a body, and boom, we got Alita, a cyborg girl with huge fucking anime eyes. Look at that shit. And she doesn't remember a single thing about who she was, or what she can do, or where she is, or anything about the world. She doesn't remember her name, or how to even eat a fucking orange. Nothing. So Dr. Ito shows her around, she eats some shit, meets a dog, and almost gets run over by a horribly designed car. How the fuck are you supposed to see out of this shit? And then she almost gets stomped to death by a giant fucking robot, but Hugo shows up and saves her.
Why don't you watch where you're going?
Yeah, you tell him, man. Yeah. Next day comes, and some shady shit happened the night before, so Dr. Ito tells Alita not to go out at night because it's dangerous. She's like, okay, fine. And she goes out for a walk, not at night, in the day, and Shireen just happens to be walking by, you know, as rich people do, just walking by in weird-ass parts of the city in a fucking dystopian world, you know, just normal shit. And she grabs her hand, and she's like, hey, show me the shit, and she inspects her hand. Then Alita's like, hey, get your mitts off me. Fuck's wrong with you, crazy asshole. Turns out Shireen and Dr. Ito had a kid, and they used to live in Zalem, but they got sent down from Zalem because their kid was sick. Yeah, Zalem peeps be dicks like that. Anyway, he built her a dope-ass cyborg body because she always wanted to wake up and be able to run because she was a cripple. But unfortunately, she got killed by a crazy dude. I don't understand how he killed her. As far as I can see, he just ran into her here. I mean, did he launch her into a fucking wall? Did he crack her neck? Did she fall into a bunch of knives? I don't know. Did he take her with him? As far as I can tell, he just ran into her and sent her to the fucking Shadow Realm. They broke up. He quit being a Motorball mechanic, but she kept at it. And then he found Alita and gave her his daughter's body. I'm sure you're wondering, what the fuck is Motorball? Great question, and how timely as well, because Alita has just started a street Motorball game with Hugo. So Motorball is this really violent sport, and I can only describe it as a mixture between rugby, basketball with rollerblades on that you play in a skate park. That's pretty accurate. She kicks ass at Motorball, although she's a noob. He feeds her chocolate. A few days pass, and Ito goes down in the night to do some shady shit. So Alita follows him, and they get attacked by 2 cyborgs and Grishka, the big fuck off robot. So she does some robot jujitsu and fights them off and kills 2 of them and scares off Grishka. And she has some flashbacks about her past while doing that. So what the fuck was Ito doing? Another great question. He was being a hunter warrior, aka a bounty hunter. So they go and cash in the bounty that Alita got for him by killing this bitch. And he explains to her why he does this shit. Cause he wants to take revenge with the guy that fucking killed his daughter that never brought him peace, blah blah blah, whatever. And he also explains that her heart is super strong, it's 300 years old, and it's lost technology or whatever, and it's crazy stuff. Cut to a shot of Shireen being a hoe with Vector. Now cut back to a shot of Alita doing some yoga, tai chi, kung fu, robot, jitsu type shit in the mirror. Now cut back to Shireen and Vector fixing up Grishka because he got the money and the resources because he a big ass Motorball manager or some shit, and she got the talent to do so. And Nova is the one that told him to do so. He told them to fix up Grishka so Grishka can go and kill Alita, and he contacts them using their brains, hijacking their bodies and controlling them and sending whatever information he wants to them. Now cut back to Alita, and she wants to be a hunter warrior just like Ito, but he's like, nope, too dangerous. She's like, ugh, you never let me do what I want. Bitch, shut the fuck up, you've been alive for like a week. Then she goes to a pro Motorball game with Hugo, and he shows her around a bit and explains to her that every few years or so they pick the best Motorball player and he gets sent to Zalem. Then he ditches her after the game. He's like, hey girl, gotta go do something. And next shot we get is some dudes jacking a cyborg and selling his parts to Vector. And boom, it's Hugo. Wow, oh my god, I totally did not see that coming when he said, I gotta go do something, and immediately after we get this shot of people doing some shady shit. What a big reveal, Morty, big reveal. Anyway, Hugo's doing this stuff because he thinks he can make enough money to buy his way up to Zalem, which is not possible. He is a naive cunt. Next day comes and Hugo and some friends decide to take Alita out of the city and show her an spaceship down in the lake somewhere that has been there since the fall, or the war, or whatever, because they think it's gonna jog her memory because she was and stuff. And it kinda does, because he just casually drops in the water and walks over to it, Pirates of the Caribbean style, casually gets into it, casually accesses some sci-fi type shit inside of it, casually grabs the fucking thing that she found, casually walks out with a new fucking cyborg body. So she takes it to Ito and she wants him to merge her to this body. And he's like, nope, not gonna do it. She's like, why? And then she gets super mad. And then he explains to her that she is using a last fighting cyborg technique called Panzerkunst, and it's the most elite fighting technique ever. And this body is one of the most elite fighting bodies ever. And if he merges her to it, she's gonna be deadly as fuck. And that's why he doesn't want to merge her body to it. So she's like, okay, fine. And she goes and registers to be a hunter warrior. Just like that. It was that easy. No paperwork required at all. It looked like it took 5 minutes. Then she goes with Hugo to a hunter warrior bar. And she meets this pretentious cunt. And he introduces her to some more hunter warrior type people, such as dickhead, bitch face, dog guy, and himself. And she's like, cool story, bro. My hunter warrior brothers and sisters, we must band together against our common enemy Guishka. And they all understandably respond with, because A, Guishka has no bounty on him because he's being protected by Nova so he can kill Alita in peace, and B, bitch, hunter warrior brothers and sisters, you've been a hunter warrior for like 10 minutes. So then she starts a bar brawl. She starts a fight in the brawl. Fuck. She starts a fight in the bar. There we go. And Ito comes to break it up with this horribly inefficient weapon. I understand that a rocket pickaxe sounds dope, but it doesn't, like, how are you gonna handle this shit? How can I even fucking lift it up? It just looks so clunky and heavy to use. Maybe Alita can use it, but not your weak ass. Shortly after, Kuishka arrives and he has had a little upgrade. Oscar-nominated death scene right there, ladies and gentlemen. He then kills a dog, the fucking cunt, and then takes Alita down into the underworld and fights her there, slices her up, but in a big-ass fuck you alpha move, Alita, with one limb remaining, jumps up and fucking shoves her entire forearm into his head. Then Ito, Hugo, and Dog Guy arrive, and they chase Grishka off. Dog Guy helped because Grishka killed the little dog. Rest in peace, little fella. And I just want to make a little remark here. As far as I can tell, all you need to be a cyborg is a brain. You just need your brain, and then the rest of your body can be totally robotic. Given that information, how the fuck is Grishka still alive? She shoved her entire forearm up to the elbow into his fucking head. The only explanation I can think of for him being alive is that his brain is literally the size of a peanut. So since her body's now shredded to pieces, Ito merges her to the new lean, mean, killing machine death body that she got from the spaceship, and she does a little gymnastics show to show off her new body. Which is kind of weird because if you think about it, she's basically naked right now doing a gymnastics show, a naked gymnastics show for her dad. So, you know. She goes to Hugo, they kiss, they fall in love, and she's like, does it bother you that I'm not completely human? And he's like, nope, it doesn't. Meh, it kinda does. It kinda does. Actually, now that I think about it, she can just get a vagina installed. He can even fucking try some out and pick one he likes. Hugo and Victor have a dodgy meeting, and Alita decides to help Hugo achieve his dream of going to Zalem by helping him make some money by participating in pro Motorball games. So she goes to participate, and Ito's there, and he gives her some gear to wear while she's there, including this useless fucking helmet. It doesn't even have a strap on it. And you know what they say? A loose helmet is like wearing no helmet at all. You should be ashamed, Ito. Bet it falls off. So there are a few things happening right now. Alita is participating in her first pro Motorball game, where Victor has told all the other participants that whoever kills Alita gets a shit ton of money. And Hugo's on his way to see her, but before that he stops by his friends who are jacking a robot, and he stops them and he says that he wants to quit. But then the cunt hunter the cunt hunter warrior shows up, and he's still salty about how Alita beat his ass up in the fucking bar. So he wants to get back at her by killing Hugo. So he kills the dude that's being jacked, so it looks like Hugo murdered him, so now there's a bounty on Hugo's head and it's legal to kill him. Which, like, how? There's no proof or evidence that he killed him. There's more proof and evidence to support the fact that this cunt killed him because he's the one with the sword and he sliced his head clean off. I don't get it. Whatever. Hugo starts running away and does some cool ass parkour stuff with a fucking busted up shoulder, might I add. And he calls Alita while she's whooping some cyborg ass to tell her what's going down and she needs to save him. So she breaks out of the fucking ring and tries to save him while being followed by two death-dealing cyborgs, and she whoops their ass too on the way. Wait a minute, how the fuck did she die? A few seconds ago I just saw this dude and he was literally just ahead and he was alive. How the fuck fuck does she die by being split in half? It's just inconsistent, man. It's inconsistent. So she gets to Hugo, and not killing him will be a crime because he has a bounty on his head, which is once again bullshit. And he is also dying right now because the cunt stabbed him. So she takes him into a church, and she's crying and shit, and then she comes out with his head as proof that she has killed him, and she's claiming his bounty, and the robots are satisfied. But what actually happened is that Shireen showed up out of fucking nowhere and suddenly grew a conscience and helped Alita by chopping his head off and connecting his head to her heart, hence keeping him alive long enough for her to get his head to Ido, making him a robot body. And this obviously works because movie science. However, the cunt hunter warrior finds this out and he's like, oh, you bitch. So she just takes his sword and slices his face off, and apparently the robots are completely fine with this because that's totally legal. She then goes to Vector and then finds out that Shireen has been turned into sushimi. I don't even know what sushimi is, but it just sounds right. Fucking splits Grishka in half and then talks to Nova through Vector, then kills Vector. Then Ido calls her telling her that they came looking for Hugo and he helped him escape, and now Hugo is climbing the fucking Sky City's tentacle cargo transporting shit, and she goes up there to catch up to him and she tells him to stop because it's too dangerous and she's been here before and they're gonna fucking die. Then Nova sends down the spinning ring of death. They both try and jump over it, but only Alita clears it. Hugo gets sliced up to bits and then she tries to save him, but then his arm starts falling apart, which is just shitty workmanship from Ido, honestly, and he falls to his death. So now I guess Alita makes it her life mission to get up to Nova and kill him by being the best Motorball player ever, being chosen to go up there. She slices a tear up because she's badass, and then she points her sword up to the sky in defiance of Nova, or she points it at Nova or some shit, and the movie ends. And I don't know why, but I didn't really think that this was the end of the movie. I thought I was halfway through. Maybe because the first time I watched it I was like awake for 2 days before that. Anyway, I give this movie a tits too small, eyes too big out of 87.5.